Hello, my name is Sala. Together with Floor and Ron, I organized the Wheel of Public Space Festival. On the 25th of September, the 4th edition of the festival will be held. I'm going to tell you something about the festival, and then Floor is going to tell you something more about this edition. It's a festival without a big budget or a production team. Our goal is to get professionals in art, design, architecture, people from the municipality, citizens together and talk about their love for the public space. And it's a really simple concept for the festival. So we set up 10 rules for the festival that we use to organize it. First of all, the most important thing, it's a festival and not a conference. That means that things will be different. It's going to be in different locations. We prefer bars, etc., because they already have a permit to organize things, and you don't have to organize your own permits. We don't ask entrance fee. We don't do reservations because that costs time. Every year there's a new theme. This year it would be activism in public space, but we changed it due to the coronavirus. And it's a simple, simultaneous program. We have central start, ode to the public space, and a central finish. And in between, we have three simultaneous programs of half an hour, and which consists of 20 minutes, a lecture, Q&A, a performance, and then a 10-minute change. It's an international festival, and from the beginning, we use video conferences to give people a podium to express their love for the public space. And if there's any money, the performing artists should be paid first because normally they don't get paid. So this is an example of a starting of the festival. This is Ditzhuyzen, who's expressing his love for the public space. We do conferences and they look like this. So really simple, just put some chairs there and ask somebody to present their work. This is a dance performance during the festival. Guerrilla gardening, a Q&A. This is an excursion to a nearby location that you can visit and as explained. Music, opening of the Zoo sign. Video conferencing, this is Lina Labor from Estonia. Speak and word, so some parts are inside, some things are outside. This is our identity that hasn't been changed. It's always the same, only the color changes. And we bought some banners, hang those and called it a festival. And of course, we do interventions. And in the end, we have, for example, this is last year, performances and eating landscape as a sculpture. So now to Floor, and she will tell something more about the implications of the coronavirus on our festival and how we changed the program of the festival due to the coronavirus.
Yes. Do you see me?
Yes.
Do you see the screen?
Okay. Yes, we do.
Okay, well, I will introduce the theme of this year, which will be public space in limbo, or maybe even better, flux, because we feel it's very important and essential to celebrate a public space right now and pay tribute to her resilience. And let me just put this on. Yes, better. Let me just put this on hold. And what we want to focus on is also maybe the positive effects of the crisis. For instance, social distancing, it causes public behavior to change, evidently. And how will this affect public space as a place for spontaneous meeting? Will there be a new urban etiquette, which will be not, no handshakes, but more visually, for instance? And there's a discussion right now in the Netherlands that a lot of designers are coming up with solutions to solve the problems in the 5 feet society, as you would call it, solutions for social distancing. But we think that it's maybe better to first observe what is happening, and these observations show what dormant needs or issues maybe are popping up through the crisis, that the crisis makes visual before starting to design for it. So we put out an open call and for observations, and I do want to invite everybody who is watching also to upload their observations, because we are doing our own observations, but they're only in the Netherlands and in Rotterdam specifically. So it would be nice to be to have observations from all over the world. You can do it via the website. And we started to observe interesting phenomena, and not just observe, but also interpreting. So what do we see here, and what is going on? What is exactly happening here? And for instance, this is a park, one public park, that was closed during the crisis. And this was done because there was illegal gathering of mainly youth. But if you think about it, public space, and specifically public parks, can function like as an antidote in a crisis like this, not just for sanity walks, but also to meet other people, for instance, at a safe distance. And the irony, of course, is also that public parks, being the lungs of the city, that they were closed, and that a prevalent symptom of COVID-19 is shortness of breath. So this, I find this quite ironic, to say the least. Another observation we did is the social circle strategy that was first applied in New York, in Brooklyn, and it soon went viral, as you can say, all around the world. Also, Rotterdam has adopted this strategy. And what is interesting to me is that how can you look upon this? Is it for the authorities a way to say to people, hey, you're outside the circle, so you're opposing the rules, and I give you a fine? Or is it just a ludic form of crowd control? Because if you look at the next image, crowds instinctively tend to keep their social distance, to guard their social distance. So the crowd knows in a way perfectly how to control itself. So this is something that was quite interesting to us. And another one is, for instance, well, let's see, these images from Rotterdam. The municipality allowed entrepreneurs, owners of restaurants and bars, to extend their businesses into public space to make up for the revenues they lost because they had to be closed. And what is interesting about this is that these temporary pop-up pellet terraces are makeshift constructions and made with pallets and sea containers. And you could say that these are materials that belong to the material of Rotterdam, it being a harbor city. I also want to show you one of the works and the website of one organization, an initiative that we asked to present at the next festival. And it's called Publieke Werken Rotterdam. And the idea behind the initiative is to use billboards. In Rotterdam, you have a system that has billboards for cultural events. And since all the cultural events were cancelled, these boards were standing empty. And Public Works, Publieke Werken, did an open call for designers and artists to send in a piece. And these were printed on H0 posters and spread around the city. And the opening will be tonight. And it's very interesting because as these posters are spread all around the city, the artist can invite people to come at their poster and have their opening there. So tonight, all over the city, people will gather at the sites where these posters are displayed and celebrate this event, you could say. And it's a good alternative for public space as an alternative location for art, since museums are closed or very limited in how many public they can admit. One last contributor I would like to share with you is Tape Measures, an Instagram account run by an artist from Singapore, and she just documents all the tape measures we see all around the world. She's focusing on Singapore. And Singapore is, of course, an interesting place because it has a public space that is very regulated. And you see that these tape measures are done by amateurs. And you could see it also as a form of amateur art in a way, or a public space hack. There will be more contributors, of course, but I will leave it with this, and will want to invite you to join the 25th of September. Part of the festival will be online. Thank you very much.